going to be rushing left and right today, especially with that fantastic pass rush that they have in Seattle. And I truly think that the Arizona Cardinals can probably sneak a victory here today. I mean, call me crazy. I think Seattle's a fantastic team. And then I know they're playing away and everything, but it's just the Arizona Cardinals. They're like a scary threat in the NFC. People just have to keep an eye on them because they're going under the radar in many of people's bars. And then if they just leave it like that, for all we know, they can win the division and they can make some major noise if it's against an NFC East team, an NFC North team, or NFC South team. But it's an interesting way to view it, especially with the Niners without Brock Purdy for a nice portion of the season, and then they have Mac Jones right there playing fantastic football, I might add. And then you have the Rams with Matthew Stafford. That division goes under the radar every year, mostly because in this area it's mostly NFC East football, but there's a lot of scary teams over there, as they just need to consistently do their job, and then they need to play great football. And I think that Arizona Cardinals could be an underdog and a dark horse to win the NFC West and just make a little bit of noise. I'm not saying go all the way. I'm not saying like, you know what, I think the Arizona Cardinals are going to the Super Bowl. I think that's just it's a little bit too much. I know I've been reading a lot of Arizona Twitter, and then they're just going back and forth saying how this team is underappreciated. And then I didn't even add, Will Johnson is playing lights out. I'm telling you right now, Will Johnson is playing lights out. No one right now, he's laying up no receiving yards to number one receivers. And not only that, just like we saw in Michigan, he's making tackles consistently, where if you run a bubble screen, he's just there consistently. And it's just phenomenal to see as far as like a football fan. And I think that's going to play a big part today of Jackson Smith, where if Jackson Smith gets a little bubble screen on the side, Will Johnson's going to be right there, wakey. And then we're just going to see what happens from there on. But my prop today is Cooper Kupp. If I had to make a nice little parlay, quick second parlay, it's Cooper Kupp, 40 receiving yards. We're going to do a nice little Kyler Murray rushing yards to add on. We'll put him at a nice whopping 25. And then passing yards, we'll just put Sam Darnold at 210. And then we're going to have Arizona money line. And that's a little small parlay we have here today. That's just what we're going to have. And then now that we're on the conversation of the divisions and everything going on around the football league, like I said, like there's just good football being played today. Like right now, I didn't even get to add Vikings and Steelers this week. That's just an interesting matchup. Carson Wentz versus Aaron Rodgers, the bad man in Pittsburgh right now. They're both 2-1. Carson Wentz is getting his second start after unfortunate J.J. McCarthy went down with injury and will be out for a portion of the season. But we saw it with Kevin O'Connell. Kevin O'Connell is kind of like the Minnesota Vikings right now. If you're a quarterback, you're struggling, you go to a Kevin O'Connell ran offense and you're going to get going again. And then we saw it consistently throughout the league. And even not even to mention, Danny Dimes was a Minnesota Viking late last season after he got cut by the Giants last season. And he didn't really play, but he watched tape. He said Kevin O'Connell was telling him tips that he never really heard in New York before. And that also is helping him revive his career out in Indianapolis, as well as just all around. It's just been fantastic right now. Here we got a couple of messages. Let me see if I can pull it up for you right here. So they're not popping up right now. However, we're just going to get back to that later on. But I'm just saying right now it's looking fantastic for the Minnesota Vikings, Pittsburgh Steelers. They got both playmakers defensively, as you can't forget about TJ Watt. TJ Watt is just that consistent player. And I know that they're talking about like the Pittsburgh Steelers, like because they have Jalen Ramsey, they got a lot of older players. They're calling it the unction as the way they're playing defense. It's just a bunch of aging vets. However, you can't forget those vets have been good for a long time at football. You make any mistake and they're going to make you pay. And then Carson Wentz has been a consistent player where he makes good plays, but then he gets a little loosey-goosey with the ball and starts letting it fly. And then that's what's going to lead to more injury, like not necessarily injuries, but I'm more or less saying like mistakes. That's going to lead to turnovers, and that's going to leave Pittsburgh with another opportunity. And obviously you got that bad man, Aaron Rodgers, on that offense. And then you got DK Metcalf that you have to be wary of, because how can you not? He's just going to go over top of you and moss you. And then you got playmakers, like little players, like not on the main stage in the national news, like a Calvin Austin, where he's going to burn you for 80 yards if you give him the chance to. You got Jalen Warren. That's just a consistent threat on that offense. And then defensively for the Vikings, you got Dallas Turner. You got your Van Ginkles that just make plays. Like, I'm just saying, if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm not playing anything underneath, because if you play anything underneath, if you throw a little bubble screen to get going, I know it sounds good on paper. Van Ginkel can jump that pass and can take it to the house. So you don't want to do that. If I'm Mike Tomlin, I'm saying, you know what? It's run game, and then we're going to attack the middle of the field, where I feel a majority of the season they had trouble guarding. When they played that Bears against Caleb Williams, that middle of the field was open here and there. And then obviously they got Justin Jefferson. That's probably, and TJ Hawkinson. Scratch that. I'm sorry. The Pittsburgh Steelers had Fairmouth, and then they have DK Metcalf, where if you attack that middle of the field, you can just get going every other play. I mean, I'm just excited for that matchup. I think ultimately Carson Wentz plays a great game, but I think the Pittsburgh Steelers come out on top, as there's just too many veterans on that team. They're just not going to accept this loss. And I just think that at some point during the game, there's going to be a crucial takeover. And I'm not hating necessarily on Carson Wentz, but we just got to be for real here. That mistake is going to come during that game. And when that the opportunity comes for the Steelers, they got a player like Chris Bosworth that we haven't even brought up. That man's not going to miss. That man's lights out. That man's an ice man. That man is cold. That man is cold. He, like Mike Tomlin said jokingly during this press conference, that man is a serial killer, as he's ready to pounce at any time, and he's not scared of the moment. He's not scared to make a mistake. He's not scared to miss, because he's just near automatic. And then we just got to appreciate that for what it is. And that being said, the line for that game is at 2.5 in favor of the Minnesota Vikings. It opened at 1.5, and surprisingly, the over and under, it's a low scoring game. It's a 40.5 game. So that's pretty much telling me Vegas thinks this game's going to be 17-14 type of game. And in that case, how do you not favor the team with the better kicker? And I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers at home, ironically, as an underdog to beat the Minnesota Vikings. Yep. And that being said, we are done with the first portion of the show. We're going to get back to you after the news break, and we're going to go another 25 minutes talking NFL football. And then we're going to not only talk about the rest of the slate of the NFL football season, we're just going to make a nice parlay, a nice anytime touchdown parlay. I know how a lot of people love the anytime touchdown parlays, picking a player from each game, and we're just going to get things going. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fantastic, and we'll be right back to you after the break.
The Student Ambassador Program is a leadership opportunity for students who are dedicated to representing Camden County College. The mission of the Student Ambassador Program is to gather student leaders who will share the CCC experience with prospective students, their families, and community members, as well as represent the college both on and off campus. This program is a great way to get involved and build your resume. Your responsibilities will be welcoming students to Camden County College, answering general questions about Camden County College, conducting campus tours for visiting students, and to serve as an orientation leader and attend open houses. The requirements are that you're enrolled in at least 6 credits in a degree-seeking program. You must be in good standing academically. You have to be available to work between 5 to 10 hours per week. Some nights and weekends may be required. Experience working with diverse populations. Demonstrate a positive attitude and strong work ethic. Excellent problem-solving skills in a fast-paced environment. And be comfortable with public speaking. Learn more about the Ambassador Program at camdencc.edu.
Did you know that approximately 7 out of 10 college students face mental health challenges? Help Camden County College's Center for Counseling and Wellness to understand the state of our students' well-being, identify areas for growth within our existing systems, and inform future mental health and wellness programs. Our Healthy Minds study will be launching on October 6th, and every Camden County College student will receive a link to the student survey via email. Each student who participates in the survey will be entered into a raffle and will be eligible to win a gift card up to $250, a Camden County College gift basket, or a mental health gift basket. If you have any questions, please reach out to the Counseling Center, counseling@camdencc.edu.
Hello, my name is Dorothy.
And my name is Kim.
We are dental hygiene students at Camden County College, Blackwood campus. Did you know that we have a dental hygiene clinic on campus? Our clinic hours are Monday and Wednesday, 9 a.m. to noon and 1 p.m. to 4. Tuesday, 12:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. and Thursdays, 8:30 to 11:30 a.m. and 12:30 to 3:30 p.m.
At our clinic, we offer preventative services, including cleanings, x-rays, nutritional counseling, sealants, personalized home care instructions, and smoking cessation.
We are located on the Blackwood campus in the Halpern Science Building, first floor. Our phone number is 856-374-4930.
Please call or stop by to make your smile brighter.
What is the Educational Opportunity Fund, or EOF for short? The Educational Opportunity Fund community fosters academic achievement, personal growth, and leadership skills that last a lifetime. Academic and financial benefits include personalized academic advising, financial assistance, free college prep summer programs, career exploration, goal planning and leadership development, workshops, tutoring, and more. Just go to camdencc.edu to find out more.
Hello, my name is Steven.
And my name is Colleen.
And we are dental hygiene students at Camden County College on the Blackwood campus. Did you know that we actually have a dental hygiene clinic on campus?
We sure do. Our clinic hours are Mondays and Wednesdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon and 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., as well as Tuesdays, 12:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m., Thursdays, 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., and 12:30 to 3:30 p.m.
At our clinic, we offer preventative services such as cleanings, sealants, and different programs such as nutritional counseling, plaque control, and tobacco cessation.
We are located on the Blackwood campus in the Halpern Science Building on the first floor. Our phone number is 856-374-4930.
Please call or stop by to make your smile brighter.
The Accessibility Center provides support services to students with disabilities attending Camden County College. At the Accessibility Center, we strive to create an environment that recognizes differences and builds independence. If you are a student with a disability attending Camden County College, you can connect with the Accessibility Center by calling 856-227-7200, extension 4430, or by emailing accessibilityservice@camdencc.edu. or stop by and visit us on the first floor of Taft Hall.
We are back with NFL football here at WDBK-FM. We have gotten a couple messages here from the audience, and then we will be answering them right now. One of the questions that was asked today was, will Marvin Harrison bounce back? Marvin Harrison's just a consistent route runner. We've seen him throughout the seasons, and then we also saw in Ohio State. He's a phenomenal player. He's a phenomenal route runner. Right now, I think majority of his game right now, his underperformance has been a lot mental more than anything, because the skill set's there. He's he's open a majority of those plays. He's there. It's hitting him in the hands, and then he's just making errors. I think that majority of it is just mental. It's just that he needs to get going. We've seen it with players like right now, the resurgence of Quentin Johnson and the Chargers, where he just had terrible drops, but he had many moments where he was open. We always look back to that Packers-Chargers game where a potential catch from him could have probably sealed the game and probably gotten the Chargers a nice little win in Green Bay. That wasn't meant to be, unfortunately. But right now, that man is balling. Quentin Johnson, the Chargers, is balling with a capital B. That man is playing fantastic football right now. He's the reason why right now, early in the season, Justin Herbert is a MVP candidate. I know it's early on. We've seen players die down and then they play based on consistently playing and everything, because we've seen players like Alex Smith, and I won't forget he was ranked second place for MVP. I want to say when he was the Chiefs quarterback a while back, and then we've seen Tua early season MVP got him paid. As since then he kind of diminished and he's just been inconsistent. But as far as back to the subject about Marvin Harrison, I think he's going to get back. It's still early in the season, but don't be surprised. Don't trade him away now in fantasy. I'll tell you that, because I can see him in the middle of the season just getting his stuff together, and then because he's open, the plays are there. He's just going to catch the ball, and then don't be surprised if you see a 125-yard gain and a 6 touchdown performance in the middle of the season. Right now, I still think he's still having the mental errors. I'm not gonna probably make any plays for him tonight to make. His line right now is just Tua, because Vegas knows how great of a player he is. I wouldn't touch that line because it's at 62.5, and then I know he's explosive. I know he can make a catch at any time, but right now I just can't trust it right now early on the season. But I definitely will trust it around week 6, week 7, and I think that he can be that player. Are you worried about the Phillies bullpen heading into the season? Here's what I got to say about the Phillies bullpen right now. I think right now the team is consistent. I think that team knows how to win. I know they had that hard and bad loss against the Marlins the other day. I just don't think it's something necessarily to worry about, because I think the Phillies, we've seen it before. Obviously, they had that mishap against the Diamondbacks, but if you erase the Diamondback series, if you erase the Mets series, about 6 series against the Cardinals, against the Braves, against the Padres, and even the Marlins in the playoffs, they've shown that they are capable of winning a series. They are capable of winning and playing tough baseball in October, and that's just an exciting thing to see. I think right now, other than probably Chapman, Johan Durant's probably the best closer in baseball, and he's just a consistent player to watch out for. As if at any point it's a 3-2 game. Let's just give a hypothetical right now. It's 3-2. They're in Dodger Stadium. The Dodger fans are chanting. The Dodger fans are yelling. They really want the Dodgers to come back. Out comes Johan Duran marching onto the field and just closing it out and closing the show. And then I think that the Phillies just have consistent threats with Kirkland. Right now, Tanner is playing fantastic baseball as well. I'm not too worried about the Phillies bullpen, as I think right now going into the matchup, other than probably maybe the Padres, you can argue about bullpens. They probably have the best bullpen in the NL. And then obviously, I'm not talking about necessarily starting pitching, because the starting pitching in the Dodgers side is just phenomenal. You have Blake Snell, you have Yamamoto, and then you have Tyler Glass now that are just phenomenal baseball players. But the Phillies just had to get their stuff together. They are capable of winning a playoff series. They struggled a little bit against starting pitching, but you already know in the playoffs, a 7-game series, a 5-game series. It's going to be tough to win. And then you have to put in the bullpen. You can't just rely consistently on a team putting in their starters and just consistently giving out shutout innings, because I'm going to give a hypothetical. Blake Snell don't want to come out of the game. That's perfectly fine if Blake Snell don't want to come out of the game, because you're going to put him in 6. If you play 6 tough innings against him, get his pitch count to 90, it doesn't matter if he doesn't want to come out, if the manager forces him out, he's going to eventually have to come out, and that Dodgers bullpen will come in, and that's where the Dodgers can get in big trouble. As we seen during that potential Yamamoto no-hitter, they were 1 out away from a Yamamoto no-hitter. And not only did they let it up, they lost the game. Could you imagine? Imagine Philadelphia right now if let's just give an example. Christopher Sanchez has a no-hitter, 1 out away. And then not only do they break up the no-hitter at the last out, they somehow managed to lose the game. I just don't think Philadelphia would ever be in that predicament, especially with that bullpen they have. And I think right now the Phillies are the favorite to come out of NL. Bias, no bias. I think they're just the best team in the NL. I think they're a team with the most consistent hitting in the NL. You can point towards superstars, like you can point towards the Mets, you can point towards the Dodgers, but I just think that's just window shopping for the most part. Yeah, the big names are going to impress you and everything, but when it comes to playing baseball, when it comes to winning games, I think the Phillies can put themselves in that position. And then we go on to the next question. Who's your dark horse to win the Super Bowl? I mean, it's easy to say. A little bit of bias here. You can say a team like the Packers. I know right now the Eagles are the favorites to come out of the NFC, and then they're just a phenomenal team. And then I wouldn't rate them as a dark horse, but then right now, you can say a team like that. But if you wanted a team from completely left field and say, like, listen, I think this team can play good football, and I think this team can go all the way. And then with their coach, you can say a team like the Chargers. I think the Chargers are playing fantastic football. They're showing early on that they can win tough games. Obviously, 3-0 right now is fantastic, but later in the season, when we look back towards those games, we're going to go, wow, the Chargers really came through early on and they won tough football games. That's phenomenal. And it hurts me. It hurts me to my core to say it, but the Lions are just a consistent threat. I know Dan Campbell as a head coach is a phenomenal head coach. To watch him coach football, it breaks my heart as a Packers fan, but it's just lovely to see, as you can tell the players really feed on his energy. The players really are excited to play for someone like him. And then it's just that you saw they had that tough loss in week 1. They bounced back and they're like, listen, the world's making fun of us right now. We can't just sit back and then just let this happen. They put up a 50 bomb against the Bears. And then you saw it. They're like, all right, we beat the Bears. Everyone's saying, oh, you guys only beat the Bears. That's perfectly fine. Now you go against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, which I personally early on had them as the favorites to go to the Super Bowl, as they just are a consistent threat. And Lamar's just Lamar. He's just a phenomenal player. He's probably going to go down as probably the greatest quarterback of this generation, as other than Patrick Mahomes, because of his consistent dual threat ability that you always have to watch out for, and that fantastic arm that he has that just gets underappreciated sometimes by the media. That man as a passer is a phenomenal passer, fantastic. And then the throws I seen that the man make is just phenomenal. And then right now, if he were to win 2-3 Super Bowls, we'll probably look back and say, like, man, that might have been the greatest quarterback in this entire lifetime, other than maybe Tom Brady, because of his consistent achievements and everything. But we're back to what we were talking about. I just think the Lions have that ability to win tough games, and honestly, having that ability, is a crucial in the NFL because we're going to get to the playoffs. It's going to be a field goal game. Can you trust players like a Jared Goff to move the ball downfield? And then I do trust that. Jared Goff gets a lot of slack saying, I don't think they can win with a quarterback like Jared Goff. Jared Goff makes fantastic throws. We saw that fourth down where to Amon-Ra, it was a little play action, a little over the top. Amon-Ra gets open. He has to throw Amon-Ra the ball right on the breadbasket. And he threw it in a crucial situation, which if he were to miss, Lamar Jackson probably goes down the field and scores a touchdown, ties that game up. He throws it and ends the game. Phenomenal throw and a phenomenal catch by Amon-Ra. So that's what I have. I think the Lions and the Chargers from each conference has that potential to win the Super Bowl. Now, here's another one talking about Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers offense. Yes, I do believe right now the Steelers offense is struggling. It's just thanks. So early on, yes, they are struggling. They are tough to get going, but I just feel like right now it's just new quarterback, new receivers, new system. Got to get stuff going. We've seen good plays made by Aaron Rodgers, good throws made. And then they have fantastic playmakers from the running back position and also the wide receiver position. I just right now, early on, the offense is a little vanilla. I think the play calling's a little vanilla. It's I'm going to name a name Steelers fans don't want to hear, but a little Matt Canada-ish as far as the offense. I think that offense can be better, but I think maybe it could be attributed to right now getting the offense comfortable, not giving them too much in order to make mistakes. So you give them a little bit early on towards the middle of the season when stuff get going, the offense might change. That's why I'm talking back to the Vikings game. The Vikings, I think that they have that potential to possibly to beat the Minnesota Vikings, regardless of their favorite or not, and then they can make plays. We're talking back to Van Ginkel potentially making a pick six in that caliber as far as if it were towards a bubble screen. I think right now the whole offense, they just they can't attack because Van Ginkel is always that threat where it's like he can jump any pass. He's just done it more than pretty much a majority of the players in the NFL. He's done it with the Dolphins and he's doing in Minnesota. I think Tomlin figures that out. He's like, listen, we can't just let him change the game. We just got to attack the weak points in this defense, and we just got to attack towards the middle of the field. And I think they have the players to do it. I think Fairmouth's a fantastic player. I think he can make plays, and DK Metcalf make plays consistently. As even week one, he's making phenomenal catches against the Jets and everything. I think Steelers offense gets going. Each week is another. It's working towards that, and I think by the end of next month, or towards the middle of next month, I might add, we're going to be talking about the Steelers offense just consistently winning games, and I think that can be attributed both to the phenomenal coaching of Mike Tomlin, and then as well as Aaron Rodgers just doing enough, not doing MVP Aaron Rodgers stuff, but just doing enough where he's smart enough not to turn the ball over, and then he's letting the offense and the playmakers get the ball and do plays, and then their kicking situation is just phenomenal. It's just Chris Bosworth, you get put him at the 50, you're like, you know what, he's going to win us the game, and sometimes that's all it takes. And that's exciting to see. That's what I have right now for as far as the Steelers football. We got 3 more messages here. This is exciting. Here we have, do you think Matthew Golden will emerge as a wide receiver number 1 for the Packers? Right now, Matthew Golden's shown his ability to get separation. Right now, I know it's early on. Right now, the numbers are kind of inflated. He led at the NFL as far as separation when it comes to plays against cornerbacks. Jordan Love's really missed a couple throws to him as far as deep bombs, but I think right now it's Matthew Golden's gotten opportunities to make plays. He's gotten separation. He's gotten open, and he's been missed. But right now, it's still early on, and then those misses will become hits later towards the season. And hopefully for the Packers, it's hits towards playoff time. He's just an explosive threat, and then people forget Christian Watson's on his way back. Christian Watson they're talking about him. He's looking healthier and healthier every week. And that's exciting to see as far as if you're a Packers fan, because you get the two explosive threats with Matthew Golden and Christian Watson. And then you have that ability where if you put Watson a streak, you can run a little crosser or slant with Matthew Golden, and then he's going to be open because the safeties are going to be too worried about Christian Watson, because you can't just leave 6'5" Christian Watson running along the sideline. He's going to burn you, and he's going to catch the ball, and he's going to make a big play. And then I know losing Reed hurts, but then you also have to worry about Golden. Golden can make plays. Romeo Doubs can make plays. And then right now, Tucker Kraft is just playing lights out. And then he's playing such lights out, people are forgetting you still have Luke Musgrave. Luke Musgrave can make plays. Right now, what I'm really worried about is the Packers' run game. Right now, the Packers' run game, it's not getting going. Right now, they're running a lot of zone. I know year prior, they were running I formation, and then Jacobs was excelling when he was in that formation. They're just consistently running a lot of shotgun plays where they hand the ball off to Jacobs. And then I think that's also an attribute why he's underperforming. I think players like Jacobs, you can't just put him in the shotgun and make him run east and west. You got to make him put his head down, run him in an I formation, and you're going to get going. I know that limits as far as the offense, but if that limits the offense, you can also hit the play action and play. Just imagine later in the season, Christian Watson is healthy. He's got that nice little speed boost. Matthew Golden's got that speed boost. You run Jacobs play after play in that I formation and getting 4, 5, 6 yards a pop. You run that play action. You think one of them aren't going to get open? That the speed alone is just going to get them open past the corner, and that's going to open a lot of plays, and that's going to be an exciting time if I were a Packers fan. But right now, Matt LaFleur is running a lot of deep route concepts. I like them because it is great football to seeing the deep bombs and everything, but I need to see a lot like quick slants, quick outs, a little curl route. I just need that a little bit more consistent, because like we saw against the Browns, like we can't just wait an eternity for the ball to come out. It has to come out fast. It has to come out quick, because players like Myles Garrett are around the corner. And I know that viral clip where the O-lineman for the Packers was yelling, "Jordan, run! Jordan, run!" It's we can't have that. I know the Browns' defense is a phenomenal football team, but the division games is going to get hard. The teams you play later on are going to get harder. You got to be able to sneak by and get those close matchup wins, and then losing like that is just unacceptable. I know it's still early on, but every game counts. The Lions are a good team. Minnesota's showing to be a good team, and the Bears had a fantastic showing against the Cowboys. This division is set up where at any point, any one of those teams can beat the other, and then that's going to be a scary time. It's going to come down to who's going to have the tiebreaker late in the season to win the division. And if I'm an NFC North team fan, it just shows that, you know what, my team can win the division, because it's shown that any team can win. And if you beat the teams outside the division, it's just going to help your causes. But I really do believe this division is going to come down to the very last day. You will see it probably like game slotted Sunday Night Football, where it can be Minnesota versus the Lions for the division, the Packers versus the Lions for the division, Like, it has that caliber of division and that caliber of good teams where you just don't know who's going to come out on top, and that's going to be an exciting time for NFL football fans. We got one more message here before we go to break. Thoughts on the Packers versus Browns game? Did they throw that game? Did they throw that game? Going back to what I said, I just believe that the Packers just can't be consistently making these deep route concepts. It doesn't matter if the receiver's open, if they have a little bit more time. It doesn't matter X, Y, or Z. What matters is your backup offensive tackle is going to be going up matched up against Myles Garrett. And they double team him, and then he broke through the double team. You got to get the ball out quick and fast. And I thought the Packers had the receivers and the personnel to do that, and they just refused to do it consistently during the game. I felt if they were to attack the quick plays, the deep plays would have came a lot more faster, a lot more smoother, and then it would have been potential more chance to win for the Packers and get more points up on the board. The defense played fantastic. The defense right now is looking phenomenal as they pretty much held a majority of teams to under 10 other than Washington, but majority of those Washington points came during garbage time when the Packers already were winning by a large margin. I just think the Packers just played football right there as far as offensively, and I thought they could have ran the game plan a little bit better. But like I said, they have that ability to get better, and then that defense is a very scary defense, and that defense could get them very far in the NFL, not just the NFC, but the NFL if they really play consistent. They just play consistent football, both offensively, defensively, and then they got a kicker. Brandon McManus makes consistent kicks. I know he failed in one of the kicks, but he just consistently from last year to this year, he's been close to automatic, and you just got to put your head down and hope they just can make plays during the season. And then that ends this segment right here. We're going to go to break real quick, and then once we come back, we're just going to make a quick second predictions for every matchup this week as I have them right now. And there's a lot of exciting ones. There's Eagles and Bucks, and there's Browns and Lions. So we'll get back to that in a sec.
If you are looking to get more involved on Camden County College's campus, there is a way to do that. You can call 856-227-7200 extension 4374 or go to camdencc.edu/student life and clubs and organizations for more information. That is to get involved on campus with student life and activities.
Did you know we have a fully equipped fitness center right here on the Blackwood campus? It's true. Located inside Papiano Gymnasium and attached to the basketball court, the Wellspring Fitness Center is dedicated to serving all the health and fitness needs of Camden County College in a welcoming and supportive environment. Our staff of skilled professionals will help newcomers and gym rats alike to reach their goals and to develop a positive, healthy future. Open Monday through Friday, it is free of charge to all students, college personnel, and alumni with a current ID card. Free services include complimentary fitness assessments, exercise technique instruction, and workout programming advice. Stop paying for an out-of-the-way gym membership. Pop in and check it out today.
Did you know with the CCC Stockton Partnership, CCC transfer students can take advantage of the Summer Live Work Learn program? The Summer Live Work Learn program provides students hands-on work experience in partnership with area businesses. Participating students in this program will live at Stockton's Atlantic City campus on the boardwalk during the summer for free. While working for one of the program partners in Atlantic City, students will also earn wages and gain valuable job experience and course credit. For more information, check out stockton.edu/summer/Atlantic City experience.html.
Join us for our 4th annual Transfer and Seasonal Job Fair on Tuesday, September 30th from 10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. This is a collaborative event hosted by Transfer Services and the Career Planning and Advancement Center here at Camden County College. It will be located on the Blackwood campus in the Connector Atrium. Students will be able to meet with 4-year representatives and employers during the fair. It's a great opportunity for students to learn about the transfer process, explore transfer options, employment leads, internships, and experiential learning opportunities all in one place. The award-winning Pine Barrens Chorus is looking for men of all ages who love to sing in the 4-part harmony a cappella style. The Pine Barrens Chorus is located in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and is a membership organization of 4-part harmony singers from ages 18 to 90 plus, representing all walks of life in Southern New Jersey. If you are interested in joining, email contact@pinebarrens.org and let them know you're interested.
Hey, we are back talking NFL football as we go back to the slates of this week's NFL slate. We got the Eagles versus the Bucks. Obviously, we live in the Philadelphia area. Everyone's excited for that matchup. I believe the Bucks are a very good, talented team under Baker Mayfield. I believe there's a lot of playmakers on that defense and offensive end of the ball. Ibuka is just playing lights out. Vita Vea is just playing fantastic on that defensive end, and then you still have to worry about throwing the ball with players like Antoine Winfield back there. I'm excited for this matchup. Right now, I'm interested to see. I don't want to predict the Eagles losing, as a lot of people will be upset about that. So, but I'm just saying it's going to be a close one. The Eagles have this ability to win this game. I believe they have the players to win this game. I think they will win this game, but for casual NFL fans or just players that people that aren't too aware of the Buccaneers this season, they got some playmakers. They have the ability to make big plays and game-changing plays, but players like Jalen Carter, the secondary has to show up against this wide receiving crew, and then obviously this offense has to show a little bit more life. Patullo has just been too inconsistent as far as calling plays. I know they're talking about this play calling being a little too conservative. Ironically enough, I know prior years they were talking about like the Eagles don't run the ball enough. This season they run it too much. I think they have to find a balance between the run game and the passing game in order to be truly effective in the NFL. And then also, when it comes to these passing games, right now when I'm watching an Eagles games, I'm seeing a little bit too many out routes. I'm seeing too many underneath stuff. And then I believe they have big play players. Devonta Smith can make big plays. A.J. Brown obviously can make big plays. And then you have to worry about the whole Dallas Goedert and Doxson outside as well. They have that big play ability. I think they just got to go more towards that, especially when they're consistently playing a lot of underneath. I think that will be available. They have the offensive line to do it. They just have to find a mixture. If they are passing the ball, they can't get a little too underneath happy where they're just going out to the out route. I know it is open. I know it's football. But if you are going to the out route, you just had to consistently make good plays because I know they have the ability to make a deep play concept. I know A.J. Brown's always ready to catch a ball, and we saw them. And then, you know who else saw that? Jalen Hurts. He audibled in the second half of the game. I believe it was 11 times that he audibled out of the offense that Patullo called, going into those 11 audibles, and those 11 audibles resulted in big plays. And I think Jalen Hurts realized, like, listen, I've been the quarterback for Philadelphia for a long period of time. I know what works as far as this offense. I think I loved what I saw from Jalen Hurts there. I think right now, Batulo and Jalen Hurts just have to talk and then just come out with consistent plays. And if Batulo doesn't come out with consistent plays, I think it's perfectly fine for Jalen Hurts to audible out of it and make adjust, because he's the one playing. He's the one that sees that defense. And if no one else says it, then he has to do it. And I think he's that leader to do so. And I think the Philadelphia Eagles go to play the Bucs and they win against the Bucs. And people are saying it's going to be a close game. I could see it being like a touchdown game. I think Philadelphia wins by a touchdown. That's my predictions for that game. And then we're going to go down to the Chargers and Giants. Chargers are playing fantastic football under Jim Harbaugh. Harbaugh is changing the culture. You saw it a lot last season, and you're seeing it this season. The players are really energetic and really love this playing for this head coach. They're playing fantastic football, and they're winning close matchups. And Justin Herbert is playing lights out football. And I'm telling you, he is making plays that are showing early on why he's an MVP caliber quarterback. And I'm excited to see what they do during this season. The Giants really struggle. They go to Jackson Dart early in the season, which can be very fortunate for Giants fans and very unfortunate, because is he ready to play is a big question. We've shown moments in Ole Miss where he's just made poor decisions, but we also seen that big playability, and I'm very excited to see Jackson Dart in an NFL game. And other than preseason, we've seen preseason him lighting up. He be consistent. He really changes as far as how the Giants play offense, because they have that ability to where you saw it with a lot with Danny Dimes to run that quarterback option, and then they have it with Jackson Dart, which they don't have it with Russell Wilson, but I think they have the ability to do so. And then now that they have the ability to do so, I'm excited to see what Dable has in store for that. And I'm excited to see that game in general. Right now, the Chargers are playing lights out football, but that X factor with Jackson Dart could really be a game changer, and it could really throw the Chargers game plan off. But to vote for a Giants win would be kind of crazy at this point. So, but at the same time, you got to think about Dable is probably playing for his job. The reason they started Jackson Dart is probably because management said, listen, you either win or you're out. So they might as well give the rookie a chance. And I think potentially that could be an upset. It would be an interesting one to see, but it's one to look out for. Commanders, Falcons. Falcons played very awful football, I'm not gonna lie, both offensively, defensively against the Panthers last week, and that's going to be a big problem later on. And then the Commanders are playing with, I believe, Marcus Mariota. That's moving the ball down the field, and they still got the playmakers, and they playing with an aging vet defense that makes consistent plays. I don't know what the offense right now is for the Falcons. I don't know what the solution really is because of Michael Penix's consistent play, but you saw it late in the Panthers game. They put on Kirk Cousins back in the game, and he started playing a good football. So if Penix plays poorly, or he plays poorly in the first half, well, we see Kirk Cousins, and I believe that is a very, very big possibility. I think the Commanders win, and we're going to be asking questions of what the Falcons do later on. Titans, Texans, both 0-3. Right now, Texans are before the season started, was talking about them winning the division single-handedly and easily. And then the Titans are playing with number 1 overall pick Cam Ward from the University of Miami. Phenomenal player. You've seen him make big throws against the Broncos. You've seen him make big throws against the Rams. I'm really excited to see this divisional matchup because it's really two teams playing to change the course of potentially their team for the season. Do the Texans continue to struggle, or do they turn stuff around and start winning games? And you can ask the same thing about the Titans. Can they turn stuff around and start winning games? Brian Callahan's just been inconsistent as a head coach. And then if they underperform this season, he can be on the hot seat going into next season or probably the off season, and they can be making a move. And especially if they get another first overall pick, there's a lot of players that can really help Cam Ward be a very good football player, and they can also the Titans. And right now, we're just playing consistent football. We're going to go right quick to the Sunday night game, and we're just going to talk about the Packers-Cowboys. I believe the Packers went on nice blowout win against the Cowboys, and that pretty much ends the show for today. This was NFL football with Adelar Medina. I'm here every Thursday at 12 o'clock. I'm excited to see what we have during the season, and then I'm excited to talk NFL football. We'll talk to you. Thank you for watching. But don't forget to follow us on at 915 WDBK, and also don't forget to watch us on YouTube. You guys have a blessed night. God bless, and you guys have a great rest of the day.
Did you know that Camden County College has a food pantry? Camden County College has food pantries open to assist students in need of food and various supplies. For